The Pentagon is rolling out a new set of restrictions for the press. According to a 17-page memo from the Defense Department, journalists can no longer gather or report information, even if it's unclassified, without government approval. They've also been banned from accessing entire areas of the building without an escort. Reporters who refuse to do this, refuse to sign this new pledge, agreeing to these extensive rules, will have their credentials revoked. Critics are calling it a major blow to the First Amendment and to freedom of the press. Joining us now, President of Elevation Global Strategies and former Vice President of the Pentagon Press, Kevin Barron. Eli Stokols and Joyce Vance are still with us. I do want to start on the legal side of this first, Joyce, because we began the last hour talking about prior restraint. The Committee for Professional Journalists is calling this a clear example of prior restraint. The Supreme Court has already ruled against this. I mean, famously in the Pentagon Papers, allowing the Washington Post and the New York Times to print what the government deemed national security threat, saying they were allowed to do so because of the First Amendment. How does this not defy the First Amendment?
Well, this absolutely does defy the First Amendment, and the Pentagon Papers case establishes that principle that the press can report even on classified material so long as national security isn't seriously compromised. And in the Pentagon Papers case, the justices, it's a 6-3 decision, and they note that just because information is potentially embarrassing or even compromising, that doesn't mean that it violates national security, and that the press has the right, perhaps even the obligation, to criticize and report on misconduct by our country's leaders. So the law isn't really in question here, but as you were discussing just a moment ago, it's the environment of fear that this sort of a new policy generates. This idea that you might lose your job or your access, your ability to report if you don't go along and comply with what's clearly an unconstitutional order that really taints the landscape. The question is, who will have the courage, the wherewithal, and the resources to challenge this?
If this is a suit that does get brought, say a number of news organizations band together and say we're going to sue for our rights back, and it does end up going to the Supreme Court, do you see this Supreme Court ruling in any other way other than this is a First Amendment violation? Or could the administration try to claim national security risks broadly like this?
That would have to be their strategy. It would be a sort of Pentagon Papers redo, claiming that for whatever reason in this setting, there really was a legitimate threat to national security. And look, Katie, I've hawked my crystal ball when it comes to this Supreme Court. They don't always rule in the ways that court watchers expect them to. But these First Amendment principles are so deeply entrenched and ingrained, it would be a major sea change if the court were to roll back protections on the free press.
All right, Kevin, tell me what it's like to normally report on the Pentagon and what this would mean for access.
Sure, Katie. Thanks for having me. Look, the Pentagon is a special place. It's a unique reporting environment. It is the nation's military headquarters. It is an enormous office building with about 25 to 30,000 people working in it every day. And the press corps that works there, until this administration, had pretty free reign of the building. Most hallways, most corridors, most floors you could go on, except for a lot of offices that are behind coded, locks and lock and key, and you can ring a bell and try it again if you need to. But the point is, it's not just the DoD headquarters of the Secretary of Defense. It's also the service branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and all of those groups, Space Force, National Guard, they all have their own press offices in that building. So to work the building, the freedom of roaming around is how you got information. If you were a daily reporter, you did the rounds going to those offices. If you were covering breaking news, your ability to get in and out quickly to a briefing or to be there. For example, assume another 9/11, another breaking major security environment. Rather than being in an office downtown, you get in your car, you get across the river, you get to the building, you get through security. You don't have to do any of that. All you do is get up out of your chair and walk across the hall and go to the press officers there, and you can confirm information. You can do that, for your own story or for something major. There's a million reasons why it's important to be in the building and have face-to-face access with the senior military officials that are there, just to do the basics of the job.
Right now, there are questions, Kevin, about the president's decision, the Pentagon's decision to strike via drone boats in international waters. They're claiming they're Venezuelan drug boats. This is the sort of thing that you don't typically, you ask for more transparency from the government, you ask for the evidence, and when they don't give it to you, reporters start doing the digging. Will this affect that?
Of course, it affects it in lots of ways. So let's just assume that a normal administration, they wanted to inform the public about those operations in ways that really they had not been doing like we usually would expect. They're not giving press briefings. They're not even giving off camera and gaggles that reporters are used to at the same rate, where they would tell you ahead of time, hey, this is why we're doing this. This is what the new policies. Instead, it's really become a silent cone over there. So there's a lot of reasons why you want reporters in the building to be able to ask those questions of the new ways the military is being employed by this administration.
Eli?
Well, I think Kevin's right that obviously being able to interface directly with people that you're covering, that helps, right? It helps you build relationships. Established Pentagon reporters are still going to have sources who are going to talk to them whether they're in the building or not. And so the reporting on this, on the Defense Department or the Department of War, whatever we're calling it, that's not going to stop. But also, I'm not so sure we're going to get to a place where there is a lawsuit challenging this because, you know, a few months back when the White House took aim at the Associated Press and barred them from the pool and barred them, you know, just there was talk among White House news organizations that cover the White House. There was talk of some kind of collective action. Is there a walkout? Is there a lawsuit? What? Now, the AP was eventually sort of left to sue on their own. But there was a collective action problem among the press because, as we were talking about earlier, there just is not a huge appetite for a fight or to be seen on that sort of adversarial footing up against this White House. Newsrooms don't want it. News organizations don't want it. Their parent companies don't want it. And so I don't know that we're even going to get to that place. I mean, that could have been instructive for this administration as they're going to, you know, send messages to the press, intimidate the press, lock the press out. They started doing this months ago, received very little pushback, and now they're pushing further.
Gosh, that is an interesting point, because I would have thought up until you said that obviously this would be a slam dunk lawsuit from news organizations saying, of course you can't bar us from press briefings. We have that right.
I mean, someone may sue. I just, you know, in terms of collective action,
it's a good point.
It's been hard for that to kind of coalesce.
The moment is the moment. All right. Eli Stokols, really good to see you in person.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today.